manuring out this pen to get it ready for the cows tonight, and so they don't get sick and their udders will stay clean so they don't get their udders infected. So manuring out is very easy. You're just cleaning up the pen and putting hay in. I'm using a wheelbarrow to move this manure out into our manure pile, and then we will eventually dispose of it into our fields for fertilization. But right now we're just putting it in our manure pile. And so then this is called a pitchfork. It's kind of like a fork, like what you would use to eat, and it helps move the manure more efficiently compared to a shovel, because this has hay in it, so it's going to be more stringy and it's not going to be as easy to scoop up. We have 8 cows in this barn. They're staying in these 2 pens, and they also have access outside. We have 5 calves. We have 4 heifers, and then 1 bull. We have then 3 milking cows. They right now we're just using their milk to feed the calves, to keep the calves fed instead of having to use milk replacer, which isn't as nutritious for the calf. And then we are making sure to get the calves started on some grain, so they're old enough to start having some grain instead of all milk. When manuring out, there's not really a specific way you have to do it. It's really just getting the manure out of the pen so the cows don't get sick, because when the cows get sick from how dirty the pen is, it can be kind of hard to treat, and it can reoccur easier because they've got it before. So you want to try to keep your pen as dirty as possible. Right now I'm manuring this pen out every day. So imagine if I left this was after 2 days because we were gone. So imagine if this was after 2 weeks, how bad it would be and how dirty your cows would be. So it helps. It's a lot easier to handle cows and keep them clean, and it's just a lot nicer if your cows don't have dirty facilities to stay in. And it's also a lot easier when doing this every day. It doesn't take that long, but if you don't do it for 2 weeks, it's going to take a while because it's going to be pretty thick and wet and just very heavy. So I'm just taking this out here, I'm dumping it, and we are getting rid of it. Either we're using a pitchfork and shovels and loading it into a wagon, or we're using a skid steer and taking it down to our fields. But we get it out of the barn because you can't tell, but there's a lot of flies. Like, I step and there's like 1,000 flies that just come up, and we don't want that in the barn because that will just not end well. There's going to be a lot of larvae, there's going to be a lot of flies, it's not good. A lot of farms have fans. We don't have fans, but a lot of farms have fans to keep the flies off the cows because you don't want flies all over your cows. So I'm just dumping this here, and then I'm going to get another load. This is it's an easy way to do it. You just dump it, and then I just flip it to get all of it out, and we'll just do this again until it's completely empty. Shovel this out and just get all the little stuff that you can't get with a pitchfork. So I'm just like, it's kind of loud, but we're just getting all of the remains that I haven't gotten down, and then I'll use a shovel, put them in the wheelbarrow, and then I will dump them again, and then we'll go on to bedding up. This is just getting all the little stuff. Sometimes all the little stuff is the wettest stuff that just falls through. And you can tell it's still very wet in here. You get everything. it's just not as good for the next time that you don't have to clean up that you missed. So it's pretty simple, just scraping it. I scrape it onto one pile and then we'll scrape it up. Now we're going to just put the rest of this into the wheelbarrow and wheel it out, dump it, and then we will bed up, and then we'll be done and we'll let the cows back in. So this is just like, you know, remaining stuff is thick enough, I can get it with a pitchfork, but eventually I'll have to use a shovel. But this is pretty easy. You'll just go, pick it up, put it in. And this doesn't have to take long, it's just a quick thing. You can work really fast, you can work really slow. It doesn't have to be done at a certain time of day. Now I just do this hand, and now we're going to just take it. It's kind of like in groups, so I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to pick it apart. I'm not doing it very thick because it's not cold out, or they don't need, they're not going to be in here because they have access outside. So they'd probably rather it outside than inside. And so I'm just doing it thin. I'm just picking it apart because it's stuck together, and you don't want to do it this thick because that's not. It's just going to be a lot harder. It's going to be in layers, so it'll be a lot harder to manure out. So we're just bedding this up so that they also don't split themselves, and so they don't get hurt. And so this is their eating. This from here over is where they eat. So there's gonna be more manure in that section. So we're gonna do this section a little thinner and that section thicker, because this section is where they will be laying down and sleeping. Also with bedding up, you bed up so that the cows stay clean. And so when you're manuring out, there's a lot of like, it was very wet, and so when it's wet, you more want to use a shovel than you want to use pitchfork, because although a pitchfork can't pick up water as well as a shovel can, so it's a lot easier to clean up when you have a little bit of stringiness or like thickness in it. Whereas if it's just water, it's kind of annoying. And it also doesn't have to be perfect. You can tell there's this chunk right here. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of spreading it around. It doesn't have to be, like, if there's like a little open spot, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can just be just something on the ground so that the cows don't fall or hurt themselves, and then they stay clean. And then it's just a lot nicer to have a clean barn than it is to have a stinky, fly, disgusting barn. So now we're going to let the cows back in. Some of them have already went in, but now we're just going to give them access to their food and to their water. Right now I'm getting the cows up to let them know that they can go inside and that they can go in and get a drink and some food because they were outside for a bit. So the two black cows right up front, those are two of the mamas, and then the calves are right behind them. And they're all coming in to get a drink and some food. Remember, manuring out might be hard, but having healthy and happy calves and cows is a lot better.